In November of 1990, MTV would get the option to purchase a radio station in Thomasville, Georgia called WSTT. At that time, the radio station was playing country music. Here's the promo MTV ran for the contest.
Radio broadcasting offers many opportunities, advancement, community service, but mainly whatever you say or play gets blasted over the airwaves.
I am the god of hellfire!
Win an actual working radio station with a big tower and everything. Play your own music.
Here's Wild Thing 35 times in a row.
Break new bands.
This is my brother's group, Low Self-Esteem.
Introduce Billy Idol, who will appear live at your station as your personal guest DJ.
Wow! With the rebel yell. Hey, is this on?
And so you won't be tempted by payola. We'll even throw in $10,000. To win your own radio station, the controls, the DJ booth, the turntables, the mics, the entire record library, the Billy Idol appearance. Write your name, age, address, and phone number on a postcard and send it to MTV Radio Station, P.O. Box 34986, Omaha, Nebraska 68134. Or make a 95-cent phone call to 1-900-786-2222. It's more than a career. It's a chance to say,
Billy Idol touched my mic!
This MTV contest sponsored by Pepsi and Volkswagen.
The winner would be a disc jockey named Chris McCarran, who worked at the Cerritos Community College Station KCEB in California. She was one of 250,000 entries. In addition to winning ownership of the station, she would get $10,000 in cash from MTV. She also had the option of not accepting the radio station as a prize, and instead, she could get an undisclosed cash payout. Prior to claiming the prize, McCarran would travel to Georgia and do an on-air broadcast with Billy Idol. If she opted to take ownership of WSTT, she also had the option of changing the format of the station. But when she talked to the Associated Press upon winning the contest, she would state, "I can't seriously think about it until I see the station and talk to everybody. I'm just excited to be checking it out on this weekend. I can't wait to see Georgia. The first guy I ever had a crush on was from Georgia. I just fell in love with the accent," she'd say. Shortly after the contest winner was announced, the station would change its call letters to WSNI in February of 1991. But the change only seemed to last several months before going back to WSTT by April of the same year. While it hasn't been officially confirmed, it's believed that McCarran ended up taking the cash option, opting not to own the station. Nearly 30 years after the contest happened, the station still exists, but the format is now gospel music. The 80s were coming to a close, and MTV's senior brass were sitting in their ivory tower in New York City, trying to come up with a new contest. According to Esquire magazine, some bigwig from MTV would walk into the meeting and literally uttered the words, "I hate my miserable life." It was those words that gave MTV the name of their next contest, but they just needed to work out the details. It would eventually be decided that the network would give one lucky winner a one-way ticket to anywhere in America, help them find a job, buy them a brand new car, pay their rent for a full year, and then they get $10,000 in cash just for fun. Here's a promo for the contest that MTV ran in 1989.
What?
Brian!
I'm sorry, honey. They shut off the water again.
The reason I called is, I think we should just be friends.
Fine! Better yet, let's just be enemies!
Now, an hour of Wayne Newton.
I hate my miserable life.
So, chuck it and start a new one in a new place with a new face and a bright new future. It's MTV's I Hate My Miserable Life contest.
The winning entrant will receive a one-way ticket to the destination of his or her choice, anywhere in the continental United States. And MTV will get them a job, hospitable living quarters, a stylish Volkswagen Cabriolet, plus $10,000. And these funds can be used to purchase plastic surgery, new furniture, new friends, and many other features useful to starting over.
Watch MTV May 26th for the secret 900 number. Call it, and if you're lucky, we'll give you a new car, job, place, face, money. We'll give you a whole new life.
I heard you won the contest. Can I come over?
Let's just be friends.
I hate my miserable life.
Whoa.
This MTV contest sponsored by Starburst California Fruits, Swatch Watch, and Volkswagen Cabriolet.
The network received upwards of 500,000 entries, and initially the plan was to have people call on the air and describe why their life is so miserable. But the network brass decided that would be too depressing. The winner of the contest would be a Floridian woman, a 22-year-old bank teller from Winter Haven named Denise Whitten. To be fair, Denise really didn't hate her life, but she was just bored. Working a dead-end job at a bank and still living at home with her mother and younger brother, Denise saw the commercial on MTV and knew that she was going to enter, but never thought that she would become famous for, well, being miserable. It would take her 9 attempts to call in, but on her last try, she heard a voice on the other end that she initially thought was an automated message. It turned out it was an actual person letting her know that she won the contest. A week would go by until she heard from the network again. Denise would make her first television appearance on MTV with VJ Adam Curry, who called her at her place of work. She would tell the VJ that she planned on moving across the country to Inglewood, California, to be close to her celebrity crush Magic Johnson and get season tickets to the Lakers. Curry concluded the interview telling her he'd be calling her for updates on her new life. Denise's coworkers at the bank initially seemed happy for her, but that excitement quickly dissipated. MTV kept calling Denise at her place of work asking where she wanted to relocate to. This irritated some of her coworkers, with one starting a rumor that she slandered her supervisor to MTV, something that wasn't true. Soon enough, her usual places she visited kept asking, "When are you leaving?" Denise's thoughts in her head soon changed from when and where to why. The truth was, Denise was having second thoughts about relocating across the country. What if she hated Inglewood and the greater Los Angeles area? Her hometown was about 25,000 people, and the greater Los Angeles area was about 10 million. Plus, when she looked at rents in Southern California, they averaged about $360 a month, and depending on the time of the year, they could increase to $450 a month. She would ask herself, what happens after 1 year was up? Could she afford to stay in California? She soon set her sights on a different city, a much closer and smaller place, Orlando. She thought about getting a job at Disney World, which may help her get her foot into the door into show business. She would apply for a job at Disney World, but her application would sit in limbo for months until the hiring manager read an interview with Denise where she said that working at Disney would be a dream for her. Since she was able to get the job at Disney World herself, she asked MTV to give her a cash payment of $3,000, money that the network was going to use to get her a job from an employment agency. She soon figured she could convert as much of her winnings into cash, but there was one exception she made. She asked for her one-way airfare to be converted to tickets and backstage passes to a Bon Jovi show in New Jersey. She would end up deciding to live at home and commute to Disney World each day. She would get the network to convert her rent money to a cash payment of $10,000. She would end up getting a total of $23,000 in cash from the network, something they claim they were happy to do, with a spokesperson telling the Orlando Sentinel. Whitten was very grateful for everything and very sweet. It would have been nice to have her go somewhere so we could follow up, but we don't force prizes on anyone. Whitten performed as part of a choir in high school, so when she was younger, she envisioned doing some sort of performance work at Disney World. But because of her banking experience, she landed a $7 an hour job as a cash control teller. She would log bags of money from the Magic Kingdom into a computer, and Whitten had some good goals in the future, including saving up for a place of her own and going to college. She would tell the Orlando Sentinel, "I have a real savings account. I wanted to have my own money and be on my own. Now I'm almost there. I guess now I just have more optimism when I think of the future. Everyone else thought that $10,000 was a lot of money, but I already figured out that it would barely pay the taxes, $2,000 on the car, and everything else," she'd say. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe, and we'll see you again on Rock and Roll True Stories. Take care.